Whether you're just planning a quick weekend trip up to the Boise area, or you're sitting there contemplating if this might be the next best place for you and your family to call home, the absolute last thing any of us want is for you to be bored out of your mind. So today, I'm going to share with you 5 of my favorite things to do around the Boise, Idaho area, and hopefully show you that there is a lot of fun stuff up here because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Boise, Idaho is a growing metro area. Boise right now just has under 250,000 people, and in the entire Treasure Valley, we have under 1 million. So for those of you that are coming from large metro areas, you know that that is a very small population. So we're growing, but we aren't this massive urban hub yet. And because of that, there are some constraints on just the types of amenities and the types of things to do that maybe you're used to in some of these larger areas. You're just not going to find them here. A couple quick examples of that are we don't have any big theme parks. We don't have a place to go and ride roller coasters year round. We also don't have any pro sports teams. But even though I know that I've said it before, when you're watching those cons of Boise, Idaho, why this isn't a good place for you, a lot of times one of those cons is there's just not as many big things to do. That is all relative to those larger areas, but in no way should it discount all of the amazing things that you can do here, and that's part of what makes our area so special. And to get started with one of my favorite things to do here during the summer, we're going to talk about the Idaho Shakespeare Festival. So the Idaho Shakespeare Fest has a dedicated amphitheater out in Southeast Boise. Every single year, starting in around late May and going through September, legitimate professional theater troupes will come, and there will typically be just around 5 different plays. Each play will run for a few weeks, then they'll move on to the next one and so forth. But I can tell you, as somebody who never was a theater person growing up, these are a great time. There will be comedies, there will be actual Shakespearean plays, there will be some dramas, mysteries. Every single year, there is something different. So even if this doesn't sound like your cup of tea, I highly recommend, give it a try. Tickets are relatively affordable. At this time, there is a ton of kind of assigned seating. You can get these little tables for you and your group, or you can bring your own chairs, you can bring a blanket, and you can sit in the general admission lawn. But a quick note here, I swear I heard it somewhere that they are actually getting rid of the lawn side and they're just gonna have more kind of assigned seating. So be sure to check that when you're booking. On site, they have a Shakespeare cafe. They're gonna have access to drinks. You're gonna have some different food options, but you are also free to bring in any drinks or food that you want. So this could be kind of a DIY charcuterie board. It could be a pizza. You could bring tacos. Heck, you can bring sushi, whatever it is that you want, grab it on your way down, and you can just bring it in with you. Another great thing to do here, and this goes basically throughout the year, is attend one of the Boise State games. The big one that everybody talks about is of course going to be football. These games will happen throughout the fall, so you definitely want to get out because there will be some games where it's shorts weather, all the way down to by the end of the year, you are going to be bundled up, you're going to have a couple pairs of gloves, and it's going to get chilly. But do not let that scare you because one of the best parts about attending a football game in general, but especially here in Boise, is the tailgating experience. The entire parking lot and area surrounding the stadium is just filled with all sorts of tailgates, people going out there having a good time, having a drink, grilling up some food. And take it from somebody that's worked at a few universities around the country, the actual welcoming experience and the fact that you can just be a stranger and walk up to a lot of the tailgates here, that is not normal, and that is something that they just somehow have made so good. Our tailgating is good enough that I would say about half the people that are down there never even go into the games. So whether you're into football or not, this is just a fun thing to get out and do. Now, if you do go into the games, and something that might not be a huge secret that you know about Boise is our football field is the blue turf. And the blue turf and seeing a game here at Albertson Stadium was recently ranked for the 2nd year in a row as the best attraction in the entire country for sports fans, according to USA Today. Remember when I said that we don't have any professional sports teams here in the area? Well, that transfers into Boise State athletics. The energy inside of this field and the loyalty and the ferociousness that some of our fans have, it is palpable, and it is one of the best game day experiences you will find. And it doesn't hurt, of course, that this year we have a Heisman frontrunner actually leading our team. And after football season wraps up, I do want to point out that the basketball games here, especially on the men's side, have absolutely become one of our favorite things to do. And I would argue the games inside might actually be more fun than the football games, which is saying something. Boise State is definitely more of a football school right now, so you'll find that the tickets are pretty cheap going into basketball, but over the last few years, we have seen that game day experience really take off. Real quick, I want to slide in here and just remind you that I am a licensed agent up here in the area. So if you're thinking about making the move to Boise at all of my information is down below. I'd absolutely love to chat. And if you're liking this video, you find it helpful, hit that subscribe button down below. That way you are the first to know everything you need to know about living up here in Boise. And taking it away from sports a little bit, every single year in late August, one of the most special things happens here in Boise. We have the Spirit of Boise Festival. For a few days straight, every single morning, you are gonna have a ton of hot air balloons lined up in Ann Morrison Park. You'll see them kind of fire up and start to take off. You'll see them actually lift off and get going throughout the sky. And it is one of the coolest experiences, just seeing first how big those things are up front and center. And then you can see them go all throughout the sky. You're gonna see some great shots of them kind of with the skyline in the background. It really is a one-of-a-kind experience, and it's something that we do try to check out every single year. Again, it typically happens in late August. It'll typically go for about 4 days. They'll have kind of a kickoff. They'll have a night takeoff towards the beginning, and then you'll see it on Saturday and Sunday. And it is completely free. So go check it out. Just be sure to be ready for parking to be a little bit of a fiasco because there are just so many people down there. Sticking right around downtown, a great thing to do, especially on the weekends, is to go down towards 8th Street, find your favorite brunch place, enjoy a nice long brunch, and then take a walk over, visit Freak Alley, which is a section of our downtown that is just loaded up with all sorts of murals. It is a great spot for some pictures. It's a really cool spot just to walk and see all of the local art that's down there. For brunch, there are a plethora of options. We have had so many places open up over the last few years, but a few that are absolute staples are gonna be Fork right off of 8th Street there. They have a full Bloody Mary bar, indoor and outdoor seating. And then right across the street, you're gonna have Tupelo Honey, which is gonna be Southern themed. They have some great biscuits, they have some good drinks, and you can head just a little bit further down 8th Street and go to one of my personal favorites since I went to school here, Red Feather Lounge. You have to start with some of their beignets. They have bottomless mimosas. Their cheesy potatoes are awesome. But again, these are just the start. I could continue to give you brunch recommendations because there are so many good places in downtown in particular. So head out there one Saturday, one Sunday, and really see our downtown in one of the best lights that it can be. And finally, for the last thing to do, I'm gonna take us completely outside of Boise. We're gonna go all the way down past Nampa, past Lake Lowell. We're gonna go into Caldwell, and let's talk about wine country here in Western Idaho. This is something that I don't think gets advertised enough, and it's something, to be frank, that we don't take advantage of anywhere near as much as we should. But located right outside of town, I'm talking 40 minutes from downtown Boise, you're gonna have the Sunnyslope wine trail. So there are gonna be around 20 different wineries all throughout the edges of kind of Caldwell, following up the Snake River. Each winery is gonna have its own experience. Some of them offer some food, some of them offer tastings, some even offer concerts and festivals throughout the summer. And then they have their big Sunnyslope Wine Trail Festival in the end of August every single year. So if you're somebody that likes a good glass of wine, don't forget about this one. Have it on your list to try and check out at least once so that you can see a really cool part of the Boise, Idaho area. Those are 5 of my favorite things to do here around Boise, Idaho. Like I said, this is just scratching the surface. There are all sorts of things to do in Boise, on the river in the Greenbelt. You can go into Eagle, just outside of town, 30 minutes. You have access to all sorts of outdoor recreation. I could go on and on. If you have any questions at all about how you would spend your time up here or any of the events that I talked about, all of my information is down below. I would absolutely love to connect. And again, if you like this video, you made it this far, so it must not have sucked. Hit that subscribe button down below. That way you are the first to know everything you need to know about living up here in Boise, Idaho. But until then, watch one of these videos that's popping up, and I'll see you all on the next one.